Okay, hi, this is JB Cycles with an update on May the 1st. I'm looking at stock market cycles and scenarios. So here we have the 7-year cycle in red. It pointed out the market top, S&P here in blue. It pointed out this bounce, and we had a hit on the low, and the cycle had an upside bias into around today, May the 1st. But here we see the S&P deviating from the cycle. So we cannot expect direct hits on all these turning points. This is more a general outlook. Now, as we are kind of deviating from the cycle, we should also expect not to follow the cycle exactly going forward. But we can notice the cycle has some kind of a low around June the 20th, and is suggesting a bounce and then a bearish period in the fall. So let's have a look at some scenarios made up from the average of some comparable cases. Here I'm measuring from the top, and the scenario has some kind of a low around May the 12th. Another scenario also measuring from the top, again around May the 12th. A third scenario measuring from the top, again around May the 12th. Then we have a scenario measured from this low, again a bias for a low around May the 15th or 12th, and another scenario measured from this bounce high. It has a low coming up early this week, and then the scenario goes sideways, and the reason for that is that the underlying cases are deviating much. Some are going up and some are going down, so no clear bias in this period. So let's look at some other tools for creating an outlook for May. And let's have a look at the monthly cycle, or it's about 4 weeks. So we maybe have this Terry Laundry ringing cycle being a dominant cycle, about 80 trading days. It has worked for a long time, but here it starts to look a bit strange. We can also notice this trend line that we have broken. Also, I have in these charts I have put in my general scenario. I'm expecting some kind of a low in May, some kind of bounce. This low, maybe a lower low. So just a general where the direction of the market, what I'm expecting. So this ringing cycle, is it still dominant? Is it still in this configuration, or has it shifted in a way like this from now on? Or perhaps it is this harmonic that is now dominant, as we see here, 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 and here. So this consists of 2 of these monthly cycles. So perhaps we should focus on this shorter cycle from now on. So let's zoom in a bit. We have this shorter one of about 2 months. We had one here, and here, and probably here, and maybe going on like this with a low in early July, a low around end of August, and perhaps the final low in the end of October. But I am expecting lower lows in next year. Okay, so we are right here now. We can look at the previous cycle. We had a low there in the market here, and we had the bullish phase, which I suspected would not give us much bounce. So we have the bounce here in this bullish phase, but it couldn't produce more, and then we were in this topping phase of the cycle with no clear bias, and the market made another bounce last week, and now we are in the most bearish phase of this cycle in the coming week. We see the cycle has a little hump here, so the cycle has a low around midweek and a possible bounce at the Fed meeting, and then a lower low in the week after. So when looking back, this was the Fed announcement last time, and we see here we rallied from this hump, and as a coincidence the Fed meeting is at the exact same time. So I don't think it will repeat this time, but we have to watch out. Here we see this low extended into the cycle a bit. Here we had a low also extending into the cycle, next cycle. So I may be looking for some kind of low in this coming week around the Fed announcement, some kind of bounce, but probably a lower low thereafter. So let's zoom into the hourly data, and this is the Dow Jones Industrial, where I last time drew 3 different scenarios, and none of them worked really well. This bearish one didn't work. We neither got this bullish one, but we had this kind of double top scenario. That was a good hit, so to say. So right now we are here. I'm focused on this purple wavelet, and it has a bias for a low around early Wednesday, plus or minus. So I'm kind of looking for this kind of scenario with a low around Wednesday and a failing, call it or a weak upswing with a final low in the week thereafter around May the 12th. And another possible scenario is that we have an extended downswing and that the Fed meeting cannot produce any bounce, but rather maybe a washout, a capitulation, an extended downswing that could produce a earlier low. But if this selling momentum is strong, we probably need a swing up and down to produce some kind of a bottom formation, and then ending up with a low around May the 12th to 15th. So that's my outlook. Some kind of a low in May, around May the, say, 9th to 15th, and then some kind of a bounce, a bigger bounce, going into perhaps June, making another shoulder, and then a low in let's see, that was early July. Okay, nothing more to say. See you in the next one.